So today, relation between two roots and coefficient of quadratic equation we are going to solve. So whenever we solve quadratic equations, we get two roots. Okay, one will be the positive root and the other will be the negative root. And before I start this problem, yesterday we had solved this problem and found the answer of x to be 25 and x is also minus 600 by 84, correct? Now here, every statement problems, you are supposed to give a conclusion. It is compulsory to give conclusion for the statement problems. Whatever they have asked you in the problem, that only at the ending you can give a conclusion. Okay, so in this problem, if you go back to the problem, what was the actual question that they have asked? They have asked how many cricket balls did Vaishak originally buy? Okay, so that was the question. Now we found the value of x to be positive as well as negative. Now the cricket balls cannot be negative in number. I cannot say Vaishak bought minus 600 by 84 balls, right? So that is not possible. So in such cases, always consider the positive numbers. Okay, so consider the positive number, that is 25, which means, so Vaishak had originally bought 25 cricket balls from the store, and then he had sold each of them at 24 rupees later, or sorry, 42 rupees later, right? So this positive number of 25 you are supposed to consider for the answer. So the conclusion will be, ignoring negative root, that is minus 600 by 84, the number of cricket balls originally bought by Vaishak is 25. This one sentence, if you write at the end, that will make a lot of sense firstly, and the examiner will give you full marks. In maths, it is easy to score full marks for every problem. And it is easy also to lose full marks because in one step, in any of one step, you have missed out the number, the coefficient is wrong, or you have not taken x or y or square. If one part goes wrong, the whole answer, which is dependent on that step, will go wrong. Okay, so it is easy to lose marks and it is also easy to score the marks. So you, while writing or while solving the problems, even if you are in hurry, just make sure you write down everything correctly. Okay, or try to finish the paper and recheck the paper. First of all, the question papers will be lengthy. It will not be as easy as what you saw even in the test paper. It will be lengthy, 100% sure it will be lengthy. 3 hours will not be enough. So the only thing that you can do for this is practicing more. The more you practice, the more you will be able to solve it faster. Okay, so now let us go to the next concept, that is relation between two roots and coefficient of quadratic equation. Now, whenever we have two roots, say suppose one is the negative root and the other one is the positive root. So we are naming the two roots here. Now, what are the two roots that we name? The first root, that is m, and the second root will be n. Okay, so one of the root that is supposed to be m, positive, negative does not matter. One of the root will be m, the other root will be n. Okay, so now we will be able to form the equations by finding the roots. Now, what do you mean by roots, finding the root? Now, here if you see in this problem, x is equal to 25 or x is equal to minus 600 by 84. So, this 25 is one root and minus 600 by 84 is the other root. Okay, so I can consider this as m and this as n. Okay, now in these in this concept, they will give us sum of roots and product of roots. Okay, they'll give us sum of roots and product of roots. We have to find out what is the value of roots. Fine. So when these regulations are expressed in terms of coefficient of a given quadratic equation, of a form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So this is the quadratic equation form, and the sum of roots, that is m is one root, n is the other root. M plus n is nothing but minus b by a. What is minus b and what is a? If you see here, b is the coefficient and a is also the coefficient. So minus b by a, and m into n, the product of the roots might be c by a, that is again the coefficient c and a. C is the constant, sorry, not coefficient. C is a constant and a is the coefficient of x square. So c by a. Okay, so here they have defined it completely. M plus n is nothing but minus of coefficient of x. What is coefficient of x? B, right? Coefficient, x is the variable, b is the coefficient. And then coefficient of x square, coefficient of x square is a. So minus b by a means minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. Now similarly for m into n, c by a, correct? C by a. So c is the constant and a is coefficient of x square once again. Okay, they've just given the full form of the numbers. So m plus n is nothing but minus b by a, and m into n is c by a. Here there is no minus. Okay, did you all understand until here? Okay, now using this we can have standard form of a quadratic equation. Using what? Using the sum of the roots and product of the roots, we can bring it to a standard equation format, quadratic equation format. How is that? X square minus m plus n. This is the sum of the roots into x. So m plus n will become the coefficient of x here, and the product of the roots, that is m into n, will become the constant. Okay, m into n will become the constant. Fine. So we'll be finding out the sum of the roots, we'll be finding out the product of the roots, and then we will bring the equation in this format. Clear? Now let us directly go to the problems to understand them better. These are very, very easy problems. They can ask such type of problems for 2 marks. Okay, 2 marks they can ask because they're very easy to solve. If at all they ask for 6 marks question, you will have sub questions, right? In that sub questions also you can expect one question like this, but 2 marks they can ask you these questions. Fine. So let us see the first question. If m and n are the 2 roots of the equation 2x square plus 3x plus 7 is equal to 0. Find the value of m plus n and m into n. Okay, here they have given us the quadratic equation and they are asking us to find the roots of the quadratic equation. Okay, so let us do that. So what is the quadratic equation? Given 2x square plus 3x plus 7 is equal to 0. Now let us define ABC here. Here A is equal to 2, B is equal to 3, C is equal to 7. Spurti says m plus n is minus 3 by 2. Correct, Spurti. Very good. So what are we supposed to find? We are supposed to find the value of m plus n. Now as per the calculation here, m plus n is nothing but minus b by a. Yeah, correct Pujana. Minus 3 by 2, 7 by 2. Correct. Correct Spurti. Okay, so minus b by a. So m plus n is equal to minus b by a. So what is b? Minus 3 by a is 2. And then m into n, product. C by a is the formula. So what is C? C is 7, A is 2. So therefore, we know what is the value of m plus n and m into n. That's all. This is the answer that you are supposed to get. Understood? Any doubts in this? Great. Okay, now try solving this problem. If alpha and beta are the two roots of the equation, 3x square minus 6x plus 4 is equal to 0. Find the sum and product of alpha and beta. Now, the only thing that might confuse you is, what is this alpha and beta? They have only given their two roots of the equation. Instead of giving you m and n, they have given you as alpha and beta. Okay, so now try and solve this. Sum of the alpha and beta, that is alpha plus beta, and product of alpha and beta. Anybody got the answer? Two and 4 by 3. Gauri, there is no minus, my dear, because it will become minus of minus. So minus will get cancelled. 2 and 4 by 3. That is correct. Okay, so let's quickly solve. Given, what is the equation? 3x square minus 6x plus 4 is equal to 0. So here a is equal to 3, b is equal to minus 6, c is equal to 4. Okay, so alpha plus beta, that is m, oops, sorry, alpha plus beta, m plus n is nothing but minus b by a. So what is b? Minus of minus 6 by a is 3. So 6 by 3, 3 ones are 3 twos are. So alpha plus beta is 2 and alpha into beta is c by a. So c is nothing but 4 by 3. So therefore the sum of, just write the conclusion. Therefore sum, I think I should write in the next page. The sum of alpha and beta is equal to 2. The product of alpha and beta is equal to 4 by 3. Very good. Okay, everybody has got the answers. Okay, so let us go to the next question. Now in the next question, it is the reverse procedure. They have given us the value of m and n, and we are supposed to find the equation of m, the complete equation. Okay, so here we have the roots, that is m and n. So we are supposed to write, or we are supposed to form the full quadratic equation. Now how are we going to find, or how are we going to form the quadratic equation, is by using this form. Now we have the value of m, we know the value of n, so we can find the sum of the roots, we can find the product of the roots, and then use this quadratic equation form to form the equation. Fine. So let us start. So we have two roots. Form the equation having 2 and 3 as roots. Okay, so first what we are going to do here is the general quadratic equation is, we'll write down the equation format. X square minus m plus n x plus m into n is equal to 0. Okay, good. Good. X square, m plus n is 5, m into n is 6, and the equation is x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Very good. So let m is equal to 2. You can take any number. M can be 3 also, no problem. And n is equal to 3. Sum of roots m plus n is equal to 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. And then product of roots m into n, that is 2 into 3 is equal to 6. Therefore, x square minus m plus n is 5x plus m into n is 6 is equal to 0. So this is going to be the answer. Good. Everybody has given the correct answer. M plus n is 5 and then 6 and then x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Okay. Now let us solve one more similar problem. But before that, any doubts in this problem? Okay. Now form the equation having 6 and minus 5 as roots. Try this. Try and say me the equation. X square plus 11x minus 30 is equal to 0. That m plus n is a problem, Lakshmi. That is not the right answer. Okay, x square minus x minus 30 is equal to 0. Correct. Correct, Spurti. Correct. Ainas is also correct. Lakshmi, don't get confused with the signs. One root is minus 5. So plus into minus is minus. Okay, so please check that. Yes, yeah, Yashashwini, it's correct. Sonakshi, correct. Yeah, let us solve then. So, the quadratic equation form x square minus m plus n x plus m into n is equal to 0. Let m be 6 and n be minus 5. Okay. So sum of the roots m plus n, 6 minus 5 will be 1. Product of roots m into n, 6 into minus 5, 6 5s are 30, but minus 30. Correct? So, therefore, x square minus m plus n is 1x and m into n is minus 30 is equal to 0. This is going to be our equation. Any doubts? Did everyone understand? Okay, good. Now let us go to the next question. Form the equation having 1 by 3 and minus 5 as roots. Give it a try. Try solving. One root is 1 by 3, another root is minus 5. M plus n is minus 14 by 3 and m into n is minus 5 by 3. Form the equation. X square minus m plus n is minus 14 by 3 and then again x minus 5 by 3 is equal to 0. Yeah. Now what you can do is you have 5 by 3 and 14 by 3, right? So 3 is common. Now what you can do here, you can take the LCM of the denominators and what you will get is the LCM is going to become 3 as it is. Okay. LCM is going to become 3 as it is, and above you will have x square okay, we will take it as minus 4x minus 5x, sorry, minus 5 only, right? There's no 5x, minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, now what happened? Okay, minus of minus you're talking about. Yeah, minus of m plus n is again minus. So what you can do here is, yeah, I also missed that, sorry. Minus of minus 14 by 3 you will get. So what will this happen? This will become plus 4x. Sorry, 14x. Plus 14x. Okay. Then, one second. This is not coming in a format. Plus 14x minus 5 by 3 is equal to 0. Now here what you can do, you can just multiply the whole equation with 3 to cancel. That also you can do, or you can just take 3 to the other side and leave it. That also will be done. Wait a second, I think somewhere we have missed something. Yeah, I think the LCM what we have done is not correct. The LCM part is not correct. So what you got, x square minus 4 by 3. Okay, we'll take this as plus 4 by 3 x minus 5 by 3 is equal to 0. Here you don't have anything, right? You don't have anything for x square. So when you take the LCM for as 3 here, then this is supposed to be multiplied by 3 and this also should be multiplied by 3. So 1 3s are 3, which means you will get 3x square plus 4x and then minus 5 is equal to 0. Sorry, 14x. Correct? Yeah, 14. I missed that out. 14. Now if you take 3 to the other side, you will get 3x square plus 14x minus 5 is equal to 0 into 3. 0 into 3 is 0 anyways. So 3x square plus 14x minus 5 is equal to 0. This, okay, wait. This should be your final equation. Clear? Understood? Any doubts? Great. So this is the quadratic equation. We have completed quadratic equation. There is one small concept under equations that is left out. That's nothing but application of equations to business and commerce. So how do we use this equations in the business? That is what is very important for us to learn. So application of equations to business and commerce. Okay, here we will be learning how the business terminologies, that's the cost, profit, and sales. How do we apply all that into the equations, and so that we will be able to solve the equations and arrive at the required numbers. Okay, so that is what is this concept about. So let us directly get into the problem. There's no much of theory here. It's just application of the question into the solution. So the first question is, A person bought an article. A person bought an article and sold it at a profit of 20%. So he has bought an article and is selling it at 20% on his purchase cost. So on the purchase cost, 20% profit he has kept. There is a full stop. Then had he bought at 20% less, what would have been the profit percentage if the selling price had been the same? So too much of English is also used in the question. Let us read the question once again. A person bought an article. Article is a product, anything that can be. Okay. He bought and sold it at a profit of 20% on his purchase cost. So suppose he has bought the article. Let's say he has bought a flower vase at 100 rupees. Okay. Now he is adding 20% profit on that 100 rupees and he is selling. So if he had bought that flower vase at rupees 100, now adding 20% to that, he is selling the flower vase at 120 rupees. Okay. So that is what is the first sentence means. Let us read that again. A person bought an article and sold it at a profit of 20% on his purchase cost. Okay. So this was an example. This was an example, that is, if at all the article, that is, say suppose flower vase was 100 rupees, 20% on that flower vase is 120. Now what is the question? What are we supposed to find? Had he bought at 20% less, what would have been the profit if selling price had been the same? Suppose the flower was, instead of 100 rupees, he bought it at 80 rupees. Okay. He bought it at 80 rupees and the selling price, let us keep 120 only. Now instead of 100, your cost price, how much it has come? It has come to 80. And what is the selling price? 120. Now they are asking us what will be the profit percentage for that if the selling price was same. Okay. So did you all understand the question? Yes. Did you all understand the question? Okay. Once again, fine. We'll see it once again. See, a person has bought an article. Article may be any product. It can be a flower vase, a showpiece, a normal cricket ball, or a bat, or let's say a chocolate. Anything can be bought. But what is this person doing? He has bought the product and he has sold it at a profit of 20%. Let us say he has paid 100 rupees for the flower vase and he has purchased the product. Now he is selling that product to somebody else at 20% profit. Now suppose if the flower vase was bought at 100 rupees, 20% profit means he is selling it at 120